It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast, your one-stop shop to dominate fantasy baseball and football. Come get some.
Yo, baby, yo, here we go. Let's start the show. It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Trella. With me, as always, my brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Trader Andy.
What's up, my man? How we doing?
I'm all right. Doing well. Everything okay on your end?
Besides...
you brought the glasses today so you could actually see your notes?
Yeah. My eyes were hurting a little bit because I'm exhausted, so I figured I'd try to look a little smarter tonight.
Okay. All right.
It's not working, but...
Okay, flanking you to the left over there. The guy was on time today. Good for you, Nick. All right. Graces us with his presence 5 minutes early.
I was.
Sober.
I'm detoxing.
Dave Eddie in the house. What's up, my man? How you doing today? Mr. 30 teamer playing there, showing up, representing the On Deck Circle podcast. Although he's no longer in second place like he said he was a few months ago. But good to see you, Dave. All right, let's start it the way we always do, guys. Let's take your victory laps, man. Let's start with Nick. What do you got for me?
My victory lap is simple. I just came home from a business trip, and I was sitting on a lazy river in some palm trees for 6 days. Business.
Nice. Good for you. All right.
Doing good.
Andy, what do you got for me, buddy?
Finally, my guy's breaking out since July. He's been a monster. Logan Webb. He's been awesome. He dominated my team last night. He's got 2.92 ERA, 92 innings pitched. He looks great. He actually looks like the guy. He looks like he reminds me of some guy throwing like hard sliders and sinkers, and he's getting so many ground balls, and he's actually increased his velocity, and he's gotten more ground balls and gotten deeper into the game. So he's been on fire.
All right. So my victory lap might be my crash and burn. I want you guys to decide this for me. Nick has a little bit of information on this, but I started a Dynasty startup yesterday. Okay. And I didn't count it, but we're in the 9th round, and I think I've made 10 trades already. Okay. So listen to this roster, and you tell me, and if you're in the group listening to the group chat listening, tell me what you think of this roster. Okay. Not in any particular order. All right. This is the order I drafted. Dalvin Cook, and this is super flex tight end premium. Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Hopkins, Zeke, Jalen Hurts, Mike Davis, Julio Jones, and then I took Daniel Jones as my super flex. Okay. Now we just started the 10th round. I only have 8 players. How do you feel about that team so far? Pretty solid, right? I mean,
not bad.
I got Dalvin Cook and Zeke with DeAndre Hopkins. Julio's a little bit on the old side, but Jalen Hurts, a lot of upside there. Okay. I have 5 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks between all the trades that I made. So I've acquired 7 picks, and I'm only short 1 player, and that's the roster that I put together. And I'm going to compete in that league with 5 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks. So is that a crash and burn, or is that a victory lap?
You're crazy.
I did it for Andy, man. Trader Andy. All right.
Makes me want to do one.
All right. Yeah, you should. It's winding down. I think my fantasy league and safe leagues are finishing it this week. So, Nick, you're crashing and burning on anything?
How can I crash and burn? I just sat in a lazy river Monday, 20 laps drinking a beer, 1 to 2 beers per lap. So,
you could crash and burn doing that.
There's no crash and burn. Oh, you want my crash and burn? I just got addicted to seltzers, Bud Light seltzers. Is that a crash and burn?
Yes, that really is.
It's 100 calories.
That's the crash and burn of your manhood. That's what
my crash and burn is. Actually, I gained weight on this business trip.
Not good. Andy, anything for me before we get into the football?
My crash and burn is being too involved in football. You guys got me so fired up about football. I've been so focused on doing as many best balls as possible that I didn't notice that the Mets made a major acquisition. All right, they got one of my boys from back in the day who was a crash and burn originally, Chance Cisco. And he actually had his first at bat with the Mets today and had an RBI base hit. I love that kid. He sucks, but I love him.
All right. Well, we're going to do wide receivers today, but first I want to talk to you guys a little bit about we're starting up this year and we filled it in a day, so it's pretty popular. We're doing a Roto Football League. All right. And for the listeners and those in the chat room, here's the here's the goods on it. It's a mixture of listeners. We got Josh from Pro Football Focus and Micah, who are two of our favorite guests we've ever had on here, are in it as well with some other writers and analysts and some listeners as well. Here's what we're doing though. We're doing an 8-category Roto Football League. Okay. The categories are passing yards, INTs, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, receiving yards, receptions, rushing or receiving first downs, and any touchdown that's not thrown. The lineup structure is a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, 2 super flex, 2 flex, 8 bench. So we're starting 10. You could start up to 3 quarterbacks. What's the strategy, guys? What are we doing with this?
Yeah. What position do you punt? What category do you punt?
You have to pick something, man. Not necessarily. Yeah. Maybe what you're saying is balanced approach. I mean, you could go quarterback heavy, and you're just gonna be hurting in receptions. You're gonna be hurting in receiving yards, but you're gonna be strong everywhere else.
Or if you're hurting on passing yards, you start 3 quarterbacks in a week or 4 quarterbacks in a week, whatever it is, or 3 quarterbacks, however the format is. 3.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're shorthanded, if you're really stacked, you start 1.
Yeah, Andy, you had a good point about us. We're playing it all the way through week 18, so you could stream at the end, right?
Yeah. So you obviously want to keep your waiver wire money. So like when Josh Allen is sitting out for the playoffs, you could take his backup and spend like $200 on him, and he's gonna have a decent game. Who knows?
Right. All right, so we're going to be talking about that a lot. It's a unique format. Nobody really plays Roto. Shout out to Fantrax, which helped me out to set it up. They're a great platform to try unique methods of playing the game. Another thing we have going on too, we just started it this week, is the Stack Attack Knockout Pool. It's as easy as it says, and it's only $20 to get in. DM me if you want to be in. It's usually over $2,000 to the winner. It's winner take all, knockout pool, pick one team, the usual. Only pick the same team once. All right. So DM me if you're interested. So let's talk some wide receivers.
I have another victory lap. I just hit 1,500 followers.
Congratulations on that, my dude.
I was gonna say no more lazy river, bro. Just stop. All right.
Yeah.
Lazy river. 20 laps. 1 beer per 2 laps. So I don't know. Do the math.
Nice.
It was awesome. Oh, and they had a wave pool and a giant slide that got really dark. This is a big business trip I went on.
Yeah, worked hard. Okay. Yeah. So let's see how hard you worked on wide receivers. So let's talk. The general consensus is, you want a wide receiver in the 3rd year. That's usually when they break out. It's not necessarily the case so much as it used to be. Either of you guys looking at any of these 3rd-year wide receivers, I don't need you to tell me that, Ridley's good, because we all know that, he
broke out last year.
He's a wide receiver 1, right? He broke out a year early. DJ Moore.
He doesn't have a quarterback.
He has no quarterback.
Right. So who is it that you guys are focusing on? Is there a 3rd-year receiver, or you're down on that class from 3 years ago?
I mean, you got Ridley, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton. He should be taken off this year. One would hope, at least. I believe Dallas came out last week and said they weren't going to extend Gallup. So he's basically in a fight year for himself. Miko Hardman, he's another one that could take off this year. Traquan Smith is the obvious number 1 wide receiver in New Orleans at the time. So got to see a lot of those names coming out. And obviously Deebo Samuel from San Francisco, new quarterback, Trey Lance. I actually just saw a tweet today they had the softest schedule towards the end of the year, or one of them, Lance, Sermon, they could be game winners. Deebo could be right in that mix too.
Yeah, Deebo's the guy I'm focusing on because he's just a value. I mean,
Jet sweeps.
He only got a half a season in last year. A lot of people are down on him. He's never hit 25 PPR points in a game, and that's kind of the magic number. 22 career games. The funniest thing about Debo is like he's probably quarterback proof, and that makes me go up on him a little bit more. Last year, his ADOT was 2.3 yards, I believe it was, which was the lowest in the NFL. So he takes the ball behind the line of scrimmage. He has I think he has 150, 200 career rushing yards, something like that. He's got the ball in his hands all the time, being drafted, I think, 88th overall. 6 touchdowns last year in his rookie year with 800 passing yards, 150 rushing yards. Only played 7 games last year. I'm buying the value on that. I'm more into him than I am into Ayuk, which we'll get to when we get to San Francisco. But that's my guy. Andy, any of those guys jump out at you at all? Third year guy you're going in on, or not so much?
Well, now you guys named most of them, but I like DJ Chark and Deebo Samuel. Those are the 2 guys that I think have a good opportunity to be worth the value.
And I just saw a thing come out today too. Just pure speculation. Jimmy Garoppolo could be a target for the Texans if they don't start Watson. Somebody came out that today, some big name. I actually didn't catch the name of it, but be intriguing to see if that were to happen.
Nice. All right, so let's go through this kind of team by team. We'll start with the AFC. So I guess we'll go alphabetical order is the easiest way. Baltimore Ravens, Marquis Brown, Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, they're all nicked up a little bit. Are we scared of them? The only one being drafted in the top 200 is Marquis Brown, who's just outside of the top 100. Are we in on any of them, or is this an all-out?
I would draft Sammy Watkins, start him for 1 game, and then trade him immediately. That is basically it.
What if he's not ready for week 1? Then it's a wrap.
He will be ready. He will be ready for week 1 because that's all he's good for.
That's his thing, right?
That's his thing. Waiver wire article week 1, and he's gone.
Andy, I know you've always been a Marquise Brown, and I know you're also the kind of guy that gets pissed off at people when they let you down. You said you're doing a lot of best balls. Marquise Brown's best for the best ball. So are you in or are you out?
0. I don't have any shares of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep it that way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just too focused on the other, Mark Andrews, Dobbins, those guys. I just don't want to take a chance on any of those wide receivers.
Okay. Nick, any flyers on Duvernay, Boykin, Tyler Wallace? Nothing, right?
Tylen Wallace, I think, would have the most upside of any of them, but he's going to go undrafted in every league.
Right.
You're not going to have to. It's a waste of a roster spot at this point, unless he really proves something in preseason.
All right. But Buffalo, because of the volume, they're putting 4 receivers into the top 200. Diggs is nursing a knee injury. He's being drafted in the 2nd round. Then you got Beasley, the anti-vaxxer, at 158. Manuel Sanders, 184. Oh, I missed Mr. Gina Davis at 151. Anyone jumping out there? We don't usually do the wide receiver early in the 2nd round, so we're not going to have too much Diggs in our life, right?
No. Gabe Davis is a nice late flyer. Obviously, Diggs is Diggs. I probably will have 0 shares of him, but I think Gabe Davis is the one that's emerging.
All right.
Sanders is a great value. I would take a shot on him.
Yeah, it's last round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, it's all the way at the end. Wide receiver 5 or 6. Why not? Take a shot.
Go for it.
I mean, Diggs is fragile. If he were to get hurt, he'd slide right in there, man. Sanders could play all over the field. He's done it before. So maybe that's a handcuff opportunity there. All right, Andy, I know you're very interested in Cincinnati. So we got 3 in the top 100, all 3 receivers in the top 100 with Chase at 58, Higgins 59, and your boy Tyler Boyd at 83.
Dude, that's a home run right there. Tyler Boyd, I'm all in. He's the guy I would take over all of them. It's the value. It's just such a great value. The guy is a PPR god. He's going to, with the Bengals having a really bad line, I think that Burrows is not going to have time to throw much, and he's going to be checking down, and he's going to be going across the field, and he's going to get 120 targets. I'm telling you right now. That's
really.
Goal. Yeah,
108 targets last year, and you're going up to 120 with Jamar Chase on the team. All right. Okay. All right. That's bold. I like it. He's got to get in the box, though. That's the problem. I think he only had 4 touchdowns last year, so that's my concern with him. But I'm kind of with you more than anything, even though I sound like I'm against you. I think the hype on Chase is a little bit too much right now, and you all know I thought he was an Adonis. I was freaking wanted to move in with him. I'm freaking in love with this guy at LSU, and there's just too many mouths to feed. Chase is showing a case of the dropsies right now.
All right, so let me tell you one more thing. So Zach Taylor, the offense coordinator, he really focuses on the slot receiver in all of his offenses. I think Landry had like 160, 170 targets when he was the coordinator there. I think that Boyd is going to be highly used.
Great. I love it. I'm actually I'm coming up on the clock in that, and I might actually forego drafting a tight end and take Tyler Boyd as my wide receiver 3. So I think I'm going to do that. All right. Let's move on to Cleveland, where we got Odell Beckham coming back from an ACL injury, being drafted 72nd overall. Andy just mentioned Jarvis Landry. He's coming in at 105. And then we got a couple of flyers. Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones has showed pretty well this offseason, and Anthony Schwartz for your dynasty stashes. Nick, what are you doing with Cleveland?
I like Peoples-Jones late in deep leagues. I think Odell's tough to trust just coming back. Clearly he's got the talent, but I think Jarvis has always been a safe bet. Very late pick. He's always been safe, consistent. You know what you're going to get out of him. Odell's a big swing or miss. And then Peoples-Jones, Higgins are kind of like a shot in the dark. You don't know what you're going to get yet. Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yep. There's some times where I'm getting massive value on Beckham where he's going as a wide receiver 3. Falling. He's one of those. His ADP is 70, 72, 73, but he's going between 45 and 90 because you either love him or you hate him. So there's definitely a breaking point where there's value on him. Mm-hmm. But like you said, Jarvis Landry is just such a given. He's a perfect guy to have as your wide receiver 4 if you're lucky enough to do that, and just use him as a flex or a bye week replacement. He's perfect. Okay. Schwartz, may the Schwartz be with us? No. Dynasty stash, one of the fastest. I think he was the fastest receiver at the combine. No, all right. Yeah. I got one dynasty share, so I needed some confirmation bias. Thanks for not giving it to me today. All right, going quick. Let's hit Denver. A lot of quarterback issues. We have any interest in the aforementioned third-year Cortland Sutton being drafted right about the same time as Odell Beckham?
I like Sutton. I'm more interested in Jerry Jeudy, but I think Sutton's going to be decent. But Jerry Judy's in line for a true breakout this year. And another one's KJ Hamler. He's looking good in the preseason training camp, so he's another late flyer you can get.
All right. Andy, any shares of any of them? I know you like Jeudy, right?
Yeah, I love Jeudy. He's, I think he's going to break out a little bit, but Hamler was my sleeper guy. I was buying him up big time last year. So,
okay, all right, Nick. I'll let you talk about the Houston Texans. I know that's one of your favorite fantasy teams for this year. You got all the Brandon Cooks at 98 overall, right?
Yeah, Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. Those are the only 2 Texans I'm even drafting. Someone's going to catch the ball. Nico Collins was in 100% of all the first-team snaps last weekend, so that's another good promising sign. Cooks is Cooks. He's consistent. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a lot of winning teams. Nico Collins is in for a true break. I think it was a 3rd-round pick this year. He's in for a true breakout. Big dude. He's going to win some contested balls. Houston's going to be down every minute of the game. They're going to be throwing constantly. Give me Nico Collins late. Give me some Brandon Cooks as my wide receiver 2 flex, maybe even. I'm in.
Nick, I'm a little concerned because, we've been talking Nico Collins for about 2 months now. I mean, Jesus, I drafted him in a Devy league a year and a half ago. So we've been on this guy a long time. He's got the opportunity. We're seeing him shine in camp.
Yep.
Why is he not being drafted? Like he's being
People just
drafted
don't know.
265th.
People don't know. People just don't know.
You have to go past the 20th round to see him drafted.
I mean, it's the casual drafters are not going to hear about him, and I mean, he's not a known guy. He was drafted in the 3rd round. People are looking at the Jalen Waddles, the Devonta Smith, the Jamar Chase. They'll see that, and Nico's hidden. He's a league winner for that exact reason. Take a shot.
I'm getting this kid in best balls in the very last round on Underdog.
Yeah, it's insanity.
It's ridiculous.
It's insanity. I mean, I think that's going to change in the next couple of weeks, but right now is a steal.
Yeah, all in on that. I'm loving it. I do have one dynasty share. I got him as a 3rd rounder in a rookie draft this year. I love that.
Steal.
Yep. All right, Indianapolis. Looks like Wentz is trending towards playing week 1. Paris Campbell is dead to us. What are we doing with T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman?
T.Y. Hilton can't be trusted. I think Pittman's going to have a nice year. I like Pittman coming out of college.
Not nice. No. He's gonna be the wide receiver 1. He's gonna break out. He's gonna be a monster this year. It's gonna happen. I'm all in on him. After doing a little more research on him, I love him even more. And I don't have enough of him. I don't have enough shares of him, so that's why I'm gonna start finding some more best balls.
Don't you hate that feeling of like, I need more shares of this guy. Now I got to do like 7 more drafts. And that's where I'm at with Debo right now. I was watching some film on him, and I saw some 2019 film, and he just wasn't well last year. And I don't know, man. I think he's going for 1,000 and 200 rushing, and probably freaking 90 targets, man. So I got to do it. Same exact thing as Pittman. Yeah, with Pittman, they're saying in camp that he's having like a leadership role and he's taking control of the club. And he's a fiery guy. He fights for extra yards. But you also have to realize that he can actually extend downfield, where I think Hilton and Paris, I'm going to break something going across the middle, and Pittman's going to be on the first play. Yeah, he's going to be there getting the long runs. I think he's going to get a lot of red zone stuff. I'm expecting him to double his touchdowns and get close to 8 or 10 touchdowns this year. All right. I like it. All right. So let's move on to Jacksonville. New rookie hotshot quarterback. DJ Chark's got a broken finger, still being drafted 80th overall. Visca is inside the top 100. Marvin Jones is out of it, about 130. Marvin Jones is the value, but what do you think about Chark and Laviska?
I think Laviska is the obvious value there. He's going to be boosted. I'm a bigger fan of Marvin Jones on that ADP. Give me him out of the 3.
Yeah, I think we're in concert on that one. Sold. Yeah. He could do everything. He gets down the field. He could go across. I think that T-Law is going to fall in love with this guy because he just does everything right. He's a great route runner, and the other 2 are young.
So. He's a vet presence.
Yep. I think that's what's going to happen. All right. So Kansas City's interesting because whoever gets that number 2/number 3 role might have some pretty good value, especially in best balls. Tyreek Hill is what he is. He's 1st-round pick. Miko Hardman is going in the 11th round now. How you guys feel about that?
He should be the wide receiver 2. Keyword should. Is it going to be Pringles? It's going to be a challenge to see what happens. We all know Tyreek Hill is the wide receiver 1. Clear as obvious, but Miko Hardman should be taking that wide receiver 2 spot. He's got the speed. Best ball, Pringles, the man. I've been getting him at the end of the drafts. I just think he has immense upside. I think that he can actually outplay Hardman, who disappears. And I feel that this guy, he actually dropped a lot of weight this year too, and he's come in a lot faster as well. Right. I'm just intrigued by Hardman because I in the past I always saw him as like a handcuff type to Tyreek, and now if he's going to be on the field the same time as him and be his handcuff, I just think there's too much upside there. If I could get him as my wide receiver 4 or 5, I think I'm in. All right, the Chargers. Keenan Allen is about as rock solid as you could get. We were worried about him with the new quarterback last year, but we were all wrong. Mike Williams is the helium guy du jour. Mm-hmm. A little banged up right now, but
What do you think? Are we in on Mike Williams? I'm having a hard time getting him because of the helium.
I'm scared because of the injury history. The helium's making him not a value pick that much anymore, but the injury problem's the concern there. But I think that offense, I want every part of that offense. That offense is going to be explosive.
He's like a tier 2 to Saquon Barkley for me. Like he's burnt me too much. I love him every year, and the helium's going to pop right out of that balloon like it usually does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Going to Vegas.
Vegas?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Henry Ruggs being drafted at 148. That's some sick value right there. Yeah. They've spoken about peppering him with targets, and the rumors that Gruden is kind of embarrassed at how the pick turned out so far, and he wants to hammer him with targets to kind of make it look better. And that would certainly fade well for a 13th round pick. But the guy with all the helium is Bryan Edwards. Everybody's in love with Bryan Edwards again.
We did last year.
We did this last year, and it fell on our face. I'm hoping that this isn't Nico Collins 2.0. Or I'm hoping Nico isn't Bryan Edwards 2.0, because it sounds the same. But where are you at with Edwards? He's flying up now. His ADP is 220, but it's gone from like 270 to 185. So it's coming way up.
Between him, John Brown, Darren Waller's going to grab all the targets too. Henry Ruggs, you got 4 mouths right there. So he's going to have to really showcase that he can really carry that load.
All right. Baseball guy, what do you think of Hunter Renfro?
He crushes left-hand hitters. He crushes left-hand pitchers. I think he has immense power, usually to the opposite. They're talking about football. Oh, all right.
I used him in DFS tonight.
I don't think it's the year for Renfro. They're usually more in returning kicks and stuff, and he's just buried right now.
Right. All right, I'll take the Dolphins. Will Fuller is a huge value because he's got 2 bye weeks because he can't play with week 1, but he's being drafted as a wide receiver 4. So you're getting yourself somebody at bench value that will be a starter. I'm telling you that I kind of understand this offense too a little bit, and he's going to be the one that eats. It's not going to be Devontae Parker. It's not going to be Waddle. It's going to be Will Fuller eating, and you're getting him at 97th overall. So that's the guy to get, and I'm trying to get him everywhere I can. I got him in the Scott Fish Bowl as well. Parker is being drafted in an embarrassingly low 11th round, so there's no reason not to take him. 4th, 5th wide receiver. Same thing with Jalen Waddle, man. Same area, about round 11. So there's good value there. I don't know what you're going to get out of him, but Fuller's the guy. The problem with going deep into the Dolphins outside of Fuller, in my opinion, is they still have Preston Williams. Albert Wilson has a role, man. He does things with the ball. He's got a lot of Tyreek Hill in him, but obviously 10% of them. And Lynn Bowden is just explosive. He's just a great football player. He can do a little bit of everything. He can run. He can pass block. He comes out of the backfield. He could play out of the slot, and he's going to be on the field a lot. So that's going to take some snaps away, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not that high on Gesicki this year as well. So draft Fuller, let the other 2 slide, and if there's value there, you could take them as backups as a wide receiver 5. Okay. New England is always hard to say. The only one being drafted in the top 200 is Nelson Aguilar, who I didn't even know was on the team a month ago. He's being drafted at about 170. We have any interest in him? Are we looking at Jacoby Myers or N'Keal Harry? Any interest at all, or are we just sticking with the tight ends?
N'Keal Harry is he's having a good camp. He's really breaking out in camp. I don't know if it's enough for me to trust taking him. With the exception of Randy Moss and Julian Edelman, there hasn't been a single relevant New England fantasy receiver, I think. I'll pass. I'm just going to go with the tight ends, but I think N'Keal Harry is going to get that boost.
All right, but let me ask you this though. Me and you are not watching film of New England in camp, right?
No,
it's just not happening. The only thing I know is that Mac Jones wears number 50, and this guy requested a trade 2 weeks ago. So conveniently, Belichick he's having a great camp. He looks like on top of his game. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's all coach speak. He's feeding it to the media to boost up the trade value. That's all it is. All right, we're up to the Jets. So I'll just shut up and listen.
Carry on.
All right, so there are 3 fantasy-relevant receivers for the Jets. Corey Davis, who Zach Wilson clearly loves, targeted the most of any receiver Saturday night. And then we got our boy Elijah Moore, number 8. He is going to be a stud. He's got the quad injury. Wouldn't worry about it. Rest him up. He's a playmaker. He's a home run threat. Outside of that, Jamison Crowder, slot man, pretty good games last year. Solid late-round dart throw. But right now, I think Corey Davis, is being disrespected. I think he should be at least a wide receiver 3-ish, kind of. He's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to get a lot of targets. And again, Elijah Moore is just helium. He's not even a value pick anymore. He's just getting overdrafted.
Davis is the value pick. I'm getting him really late.
Yeah, he's being disrespected. He's going late, and he's in wide receiver 1. It's clear as day.
Yeah, I'm getting him as like my 4th wide receiver. I'm not taking one until like the 7th round. It's crazy.
Okay, so Corey Davis or Devontae Parker?
Corey Davis.
Okay, interesting.
Especially after what you just said.
Yep. So I say that because they're one off of each other on ADP. That's how disrespected he is, that Parker might be considered the number 3 receiver on Miami now, and
he's the wide receiver 1.
The clear wide receiver 1. But there's a theme here that you just brought up that goes back to something we said a few minutes ago. So new quarterback, Zach Wilson, and who's he leaning on? The young guy, the guy from last year, the new guy that became in Kilo? No, he's leaning on the veteran, Corey Davis, right?
Yep.
What did we just talk about with T-Law? We said
veteran.
He's going to lean on the veteran, right? So maybe that goes back to Andy's point with the Bengals, that Tyler Boyd is the guy to go with, where Burrow is going to lean on the guy that's been there and done that, rather than the rookie and the sophomore, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to that with these rookie quarterbacks. So let's keep that in mind. Veteran receivers in positive roles with rookie quarterbacks. That's a thing. Okay. All right. Pittsburgh. They got 3 receivers being drafted about the same. You know, it's got to be Big Ben's last year. He's 400 years old. Deontay Johnson is being drafted first at 50th overall, which is round 5. Sorry. Claypool had a little scare the other day, being drafted 68th, and Juju right after him at 72. So what are you guys doing there?
Juju, I think, is a little underrated. Claypool is going to break out. Deontay's got the drops. I don't know. The quarterback situation worries me. If Ben gets hurt, Ben stays healthy, I think all 3 have some value. I mean, they can't all catch the ball, but I think Claypool and Juju are the values, in my opinion.
Claypool broke out last year.
He did. I think he's going to be even more of a breakout this year.
I think Juju's disrespected. I
he's playing for another contract.
Yeah,
he's on a 1-year deal.
And Deontay, Jeff loves that guy, and I think he's going to wind up being probably the best guy there. I admit it.
I think Deontay, because he's quarterback proof, I think, because he's a lot like Deebo Samuel, that he takes a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage, 2-3 yards upfield. He's a possession type receiver who's an extension of the running game. And it doesn't matter if Big Ben's back or not, whoever's going to be there, he's going to get used. Claypool, it's a little scary because he's only in his 2nd year. So we don't know what the next 3 or 4 years look like with a quarterback. And like you said, Juju's on a 1-year deal, so he's kind of safe if you're in a keeper or a dynasty format. I have shares of all of them, so it's going to be juicy, delicious all year long. Every time they score a passing touchdown, I'm going to have a piece of it, some way, shape, or form. Because Deontay is a guy I'm buying in a lot. I mean, Claypool, I think the Warrior Bowl, he's my wide receiver 1 because I went like 0 wide receivers straight up the board. And, anytime I don't take them, Juju's there as a wide receiver 3. It's beautiful value. All right. What do you think about Tennessee? I just took somebody from Tennessee and Julio Jones, my first share at 46th overall, but AJ Brown is going at the 2-3 turn Do we have any shares of AJ Brown? Are we still staying away from that? Do we believe in the growth?
I don't have any shares. I think he's going too early for me to even have a chance at it. With Julio there, I don't know. It's going to be split. Unless Julio gets hurt, which he has in the past. But AJ Brown's consensus wide receiver 1.
The reason that they complement each other pretty well is because, Julio just hasn't had a nose for the end zone through his career, except for on the long deep balls.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ Brown seems to. Even he missed a couple games last year, and he still came up with I think 11 or 12 touchdowns, something like that, where Julio wasn't there.
Yeah.
I think they complement each other well. They're both usable. I just don't do too often where I'm taking a wide receiver at the 2-3 turn. It just doesn't happen that much with me. So, any interest anywhere, Andy? No?
No. Too rich for my blood.
Nick, are we still in on Des Fitzpatrick in Dynasty formats, or we let up on that a little bit?
It depends. I think Des will have a kind of a role here and there. Again, Julio's got an injury history. If he goes down, you can see Des fit right back in there. So I think he's in a dynasty, not in a redraft more so, but a dynasty. I mean, I think we might see. I think it's almost certain we're going to see him in a waiver wire article this year. At some point, he's going to make an impact. I don't think immediately, but halfway through the season, we'll start seeing him in some waivers.
Especially when Julio's hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man. Why'd you go and do that to me?
He's good because it's going to happen.
You know it's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but you know it's going to happen. I would love to see it not happen.
All right, let's go out west and let's start the NFC. Let's talk about Arizona, and this is the most demented-looking draft board out there for a team. So Hopkins is going 17th overall, middle of the second round. That's correct.
Steal.
Okay. Rondell Moore is going at 167, which for me is a huge overdraft. Christian Kirk 191, and then Andy, your boy is being disrespected.
I'll take all the
ADP
shares.
199 for AJ Green.
Dude,
He's a starter.
Dude, I love that guy, man.
He's a starter.
Dude, he's healthy, and he's having a great camp, and he has a very good connection with Kyler Murray. I'm all in. I've been all in. I've been saying this for a month and a half now. Come on. Yo, this is the first time ever in his life that he has single coverage. All right, they're going to be double covering Hopkins. This guy's going to be alone. He's going to kill people. He's a nightmare.
All right, I like it.
Yeah.
Do you know the last time he played 16 games was?
I don't care. He's healthy now. Get him now.
You're not going to like the answer, huh?
At 199, who the hell cares? Just
you're not going to like the answer. The last time he played 16 games was?
Never.
No. It was 2020. It was last year.
Yeah. And
right?
he had 45% completion reception percentage. Yep. So trust me, he's going to break out, and at 199, he is free.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing it everywhere I can, man. You're taking him as a fifth or a sixth. Best ball, it's genius. So
every single one.
All right. Nick, what's your take? I know you're a big fan of the rookies. What's your take on 5'7" Rondell Moore?
I think he's a playmaker. He was a playmaker. He's got the heavy vertical jump. He's going to be on jet sweeps. They showed it. He's going to be on the field all the time. They're going to get the ball in his hands. You got AJ Green. You have DeAndre Hopkins lineup outside. Rondell Moore's going to get lost in the middle of the field. They're going to lose track of him. He's, like you just said, he's 5'7". They're going to lose track of him. Jet sweep out of the backfield. Oh, crap, where is he? We don't know. There he is. He's gone. I think he's going to be like a Deebo Samuel 2.0 kind of a effect.
Wow. For me, it's best ball only, just because, like you said, I think a lot of his fantasy value for the year is going to be 60, 80-yard touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of hard to have in your lineup, because if it doesn't happen, you take a zero.
He's a perfect redraft. I'm sorry, perfect best ball. Redraft, I wouldn't touch right away. He slides late, maybe then.
And in the words of one of our favorite guests, a rookie is a rookie is a rookie.
There you go. Wrong sport, same concept.
Still applies.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, let's go to the ATL. Calvin Ridley's a star. We know that. Yep. There's not much to say there. He's going 20th overall, so bottom of the second round. But the interesting one is Russell Gage being drafted about the end of the 12th round at 139. So what do you say?
Yeah, he's I don't think he broke out too much last year, but he's worth a flyer. I mean, I think Kyle Pitts is going to act the wide receiver too there, honestly.
Yeah. I'll give you an interesting stat on Russell Gage. Last year, he had the exact same amount of targets, whether Julio was in the game or not in the game, and his average receiving yards with Julio was 59 yards a game. Without him was 55 yards a game, and he scored 3 touchdowns with Julio in the game and 3 without. So everybody that's truthing that Julio's gone, it's the Russell breakout party. Sorry, he had that opportunity last year and he didn't do anything with it. So I don't really think that they're focusing on it like that. And I think, like Nick, you nailed it. It's Kyle Pitts day, man. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver too there.
All right. Carolina, they got the Sam Darnold effect.
Who
is it? Darnold to Arnold, or we like some of these wide receivers at all?
DJ Moore is wide receiver proof no matter what. I read Robbie Anderson's got a hamstring problem, I believe. So Terrace Marshall season.
Yeah,
you love him.
I don't
know. They don't have a quarterback, so I'm kind of fading Carolina.
You really think that he's a zero, Darnold?
Zero.
Yeah. Come on. One of the worst graded quarterbacks the last 2 seasons, I think it was. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he could support this wide receiver group because he doesn't check down.
Well, that's the problem.
70% of his passes are to wide receivers.
And is that either a factor of not having a good running back, or is that a factor of he just doesn't check down and McCaffrey should be knocked down a peg?
He's scared of ghosts.
He is scared of ghosts.
I'm out.
I think he's got talent, but I think he's broken. He's got to prove something, and he does not have a good offensive line. He's not going to have time to throw it. DJ Moore is going to have to come in and get the ball. Robbie Anderson, if he can beat him deep, that's his talent there. I don't know. I just don't see it.
I just remember him throwing more touchdowns for the other team as a Jet. Just pick sixes all day long. Like I hate him.
Turnover central.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call the Sam Darnold breakout. I'm going to call for 4,000 yards.
Go away.
I'm going to call for 28 touchdowns, but I'll give you the 15 INTs.
Can you do me a favor? Could you put the banner up there and go, moron?
Jeff, you see in the bottom? Jeff, you see the bottom where it says leave studio?
There we go.
The red button
right there.
Red button.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to Chicago, and there's some more helium over here. Allen Robinson is what he is. He's a star.
I love him.
He's
love him.
The best possession receiver in the game, I think. But all the helium is on Darnell Mooney right now. His ADP is 124, but it's broken the top 100 over the last 2 weeks. Nick, are you buying Darnell Mooney's hype?
I think he's good. I'm really concerned about that Bears offensive line. Tevin Jenkins just announced back surgery, the rookie. So I'm really concerned about if it's Dalton, he's just going to get destroyed. Fields can extend plays, but my fear is just him getting the ball out. I do buy the hype on Mooney. I think he's going to be overdrafted. A little too much for my liking. For me, it's Allen Robinson is the only one I'm going to take in that backfield.
But you just kind of contradicted yourself on Mooney because one of Mooney's best qualities, and this is obviously assuming Fields, is that he's great in the scramble drill. And if they have a bad offensive line and a great scramble quarterback, he's going to be running with Fields, and that's going to open up a lot of creative and fun plays. So I think it might be there. I don't know if I could draft him as a top 100 guy. That's getting a little crazy to me. But all right, ready? Darnell Mooney or Mike Williams?
Mike Williams.
Yeah, me too. So we're not in. Williams is being drafted 110th. Mooney's 120th. Mooney's actually over 110 right now. So we're out on Mooney, but we're interested to see what it looks like. All right. Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Lots of options. There's so many teams now with 3 viable wide receivers. There's so many teams where the wide receiver 3 could be the wide receiver 2 on your fantasy team. And Michael Gallup could be that at 110 ADP. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, which one you want?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, me too.
And Amari Cooper injury history. CeeDee Lamb, absolute stud coming out of the draft. I wanted him. He's going to break out this year with Dak fully healthy. Give me it. But his ADP is sky high for the hope of a breakout.
Right.
That's the only concern.
You could make the arguments for CeeDee Lamb as hang on. You could make the argument for CeeDee Lamb as the dynasty wide receiver number 1.
I don't think that really deserves a moron. The Darnold thing does, but
yeah, that does.
The one thing I did hear out of camp is that they're actually running 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, and Gallup's the odd man out.
Yeah. All right, guys, take note that Brian in the group chat, and he's in our Roto League, loves CeeDee Lamb, and he said he's going to go crazy this year. So we're going to snipe Brian for him. Let's make that happen.
If for the Jets, it was CeeDee Lamb or Mekhi Becton. Unfortunately, you got to take the left tackle there.
Yeah, that's not a loss. It's hard for people that you know like us that are doing fantasy all day long to accept the lineman over a wide receiver that's a superstar, but it was the right move.
100%.
All right. So we're going from a solid receiving core to a horrible one, led by Tyrell Williams, who's the Gazelle, who used to be one of my favorites in Detroit. But there are a couple of diamonds in the rough here. So let's start with Brashard Perriman, who's outside the top 200. And then let's lead to somebody I think Nick likes, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
So are we taking either of these guys?
I like Brashard Perriman. He is out of the Adam Gase experience. I think he's got the speed. He's got burner speed. I wouldn't consider him a wide receiver 1, 2, or 3 maybe, but I do like him as a wide receiver 4. Give me the breakout maybe. He had talent in Baltimore. He's fast, runs a 4.2 speed. I think he can make some magic happen.
All right, I'm going to give you another guy out of Detroit. Keep an eye on Wisconsin product, Quintez Cephas.
Yes.
Poised for a breakout. Okay, second-year breakout there. I'm loving him. He could get downfield. He's big-bodied, big catch radius. I need me to get some of that. All right, let's move on to Green Bay. Greener pastures.
Hey, we didn't talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I wanted to go on to Equinemius St. Brown, his brother on Green Bay.
Well, we could go back. All I'm going to say is, and we can move on, Cooper Kupp 2.0. All right, continue.
All right, gold. So, Green Bay, Devontae Adams, first-round pick. I'm not doing it. I don't think 1,600 yards, and how many touchdowns did he have last year?
A lot.
400, and he missed games, man.
He did. He missed a game or two last year.
18 touchdowns, led the league in touchdowns, and he missed 2 games with 1,400 yards. Ridiculous. But you know what? Rodgers is that guy, and he's pissed. And Devontae Adams is his guy. And he might just be like, yo, let's just do this, man. The hell with everybody else. I'm going to get you paid. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get the hell out of here, get you out of here. Let's do it. It could be a thing. I don't know.
It could be.
All right. Marquez Valdez, Scranton, Pennsylvania, is looking good in camp. Randall Cobb. Andy, I know you like Alan Lazard back in the day.
I was a Cobb guy, too.
Yeah.
Isn't Cobb living with Rodgers?
I don't know. All I know is he said, like, I'm not coming back unless you give me Cobb. So there's something to that.
I swear to God, I heard that he's like staying at Rodgers' house.
Okay, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with Aaron Rodgers' living arrangements, so. Nick, anybody there, or we're just staying away from Green Bay outside of Aaron Jones?
I was an Alan Lazard fan last year, big time. I think Randall Cobb's going to get touches. Amari Rodgers, once they took Cobb, he was basically just done for. It's a complete guess outside of Devontae Adams at this point. I mean, if you look at the tight ends, Robert Tonyan, he's going to be very good. But I think that wide receiver 2 is going to be a big question mark. If it was me right now, I would take Lazard. But I think MVS is really coming up. So we'll see.
All right, let's go over to the Rams. They got a quarterback change. They go big-time upgrade with Matthew Stafford. They lost Cam Akers for the season. We got 3 in consideration here with Woods and Kupp both being drafted in the top 50. Van Jefferson outside the top 200, but a nice dynasty stash. So are we in on Woods or Kupp?
Yeah, I love Woods. Kupp, if healthy, I love him too. Both are very good. So no problem taking either there.
All right. So you don't like Kupp 1.0, you like Kupp 2.0.
Yeah. And again, back to Robert Woods. He's just that guy. I mean, there's not a deep fantasy analysis in it. He's just that guy that's going to get you points. You can put him as your wide receiver 2 and just completely forget about it, and he'll be fine.
Andy, I know me and you had this conversation, but Robert Woods is a guy we tend to end up with when you go 0 wide receiver, especially in the best ball, as your wide receiver 1, and it almost feels okay, right?
Yeah, I feel fine with it, especially with Stafford there instead of Goff. I feel that it's just going to be even a more explosive offense, especially with them losing the running back. I feel that they're going to be throwing a lot, and I think they're both going to eat.
Yeah, 120 targets with Goff, so you can only imagine what we're looking at now. That's impressive. I like that call. I got to get me some Woods. Time for another league. Nick, while we're on the Rams, let me ask you, because you do not as much dynasty as me, but some. What's the breaking point on buying Cam Akers in a dynasty league? Right after you have all your starters, or you need to wait a couple more rounds?
See, the problem is his injury. Not many people are known to come back fully 100% from it.
He could be done.
He could be done. I probably would avoid. I would definitely have at least my starting lineup in there. Then maybe a couple bench guys here and there. And if he slides, I'll take him. But I'm not reaching for him. That injury just scares me. It's like the Marlon Mack injury. Who the hell knows? Maybe the Rams next year say, hey, look, we're in position to draft a running back. We just don't know. The Colts did it with Jonathan Taylor.
All right. This is the first startup I've done since he got hurt. So I'll put that out on Twitter where he comes out. If he's there around 20, I'm doing it though.
Oh yeah. He's well worth it at that point.
Cool. Thanks for the confirmation bias that time. All right, Minnesota, there's not much to say here. J. Jeff is a superstar. He's going at the 2-3 turn.
Yep.
This right about the same as AJ Brown. Adam Thielen is one of the best values in the draft because he doesn't get any respect, and he's going in the 5th, 6th round. And he actually, I think he was 2nd in the NFL in touchdowns last year with 14. Is that correct? No, Tyreek Hill had 15. But with Jefferson's breakout, Thielen still had 14 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
I know Andy loves Irv Smith. He might, cut into that a little bit, but this is 2 stars, man. These are 2 guys you want on your team. I don't care what you say.
And with Thielen, I think it's just a really nice value. I mean, and getting him usually sometimes in these things as a wide receiver 1 as well.
Right. I mean, but he's being drafted as a wide receiver 2 or 3. If he goes from 14 touchdowns to 8, he still pays it off. Like you can't go wrong here. So definitely get you some Thielen and go J. Jeff over AJ Brown, right?
Yeah.
Agree. J. Jeff over AJ Brown.
Yep.
All right. So New Orleans is very interesting because Marquez Callaway is the only healthy receiver in camp right now. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Everybody loves Adam Troutman. Traquan Smith just came back, I think, today, or is due back tomorrow or something like that. And Michael Thomas, nobody knows about. So any of this interests you at all?
Nope. Alvin Kamara only. End of rant.
Okay. Marquez Callaway, I got to get me some. If I could get him in round 14 or 15, I'm doing it. It's a FOMO thing. I'm not missing out on this because he looked incredible in camp the last 2 weeks.
Good value.
No more on? Okay.
Good value.
So what's
my issue is none of these guys would be starting on many other teams. It's just we're elevating just because of target share. That's my only take with the Saints receivers right now. Like if you throw Denzel Mims on the Saints, he's a wide receiver 1. There's no. It's just because there's nobody to throw to. That's why these guys are elevated, and I'm not buying it because the talent isn't. It's there, but it's not there enough for me to feel safe drafting as a starter.
Does that matter?
No, it's all about fantasy. Is all about volume.
Yeah, it's all about the stats. It's not about the name, right?
Stats.
Lenny will tell you that. All right, moving on to the Giants.
Who?
It's crazy. It seems like they have a great receiver room, but these guys aren't being drafted. Golliday, he's hamstrung already, and I feel like we've done this dance before.
Not good.
And I think I have too many shares already, so I have to stop 100% on him. Sterling Shepard, inside the top 200, 172. Darius Slayton outside the top 200. Any interest in any of these guys?
Not anymore. Golliday with the hammy. I just look at last year, look at this year. Offensive line's a question mark. They had like 30 guys retire in a 2-day span. I don't know. I just can't. I can't do it. Quarterback's a big question mark. A lot of question marks there.
All right, question for you both. Kenny Golliday or Adam Thielen?
Adam Thielen, no question.
All right. Well, you hate Adam Thielen, so
I do, but I'm not taking Kenny Golliday.
Okay. All right. Hard pass. All right, let's take a look at the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles. Okay.
Wow. And I'm interested because I now have my first Jalen Hurts dynasty share, so I want this to work. So Devonta Smith.
It can work.
Devonta Smith. Well, yeah, we don't really need the receivers for Jalen Hurts to work, right?
No, you get the leg room.
Right. So last year, their leading receiver was Greg Ward. We saw Travis Fulgham basically go as a wide receiver 1 and drive us all nuts for about a month, and then he disappeared. Devonta Smith being drafted 86th overall. Jalen Reagor drafted in the 12th, 13th round, 150th overall. What say you guys?
I would take Reagor. I think he's a really good value. I think he's looked good. He's come in shape. He's had a little injury stuff, but I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to break out a little bit. He's going to be sneaky.
Ready? Ready for this?
Oh, shit.
Boom! That's a Jeff's best bet right there, baby. Jalen Reagor.
Oh,
over 650 and a half yards on FanDuel.
Over.
Make it happen. I don't usually bet overs. I like to bet unders. 650 and a half yards for Jalen Reagor. I will take that all day long. Nick Sirianni just last night used the word special and phenomenal athleticism when describing him. So they're going to get him the ball. He fits well with my quarterback. That's the guy right there.
Nice.
All right. Okay, let's move on to Seattle, which is one of Nick's favorite places to go for a receiver. DK Metcalf is being drafted at the 2-3 turn. So let's continue this exercise. Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf.
In that order?
Yeah, Brown, Jefferson, Metcalf. Yeah.
You just said Jefferson over Brown.
I don't know. AJ Brown first.
That's a toss-up. So
AJ Brown first, Jefferson, and then DK Metcalf.
He's still on the lazy river over there.
Yeah, I still am.
I mean, lazy analysis over there.
I miss it.
Brian in the chat room, the best ability is availability. Golliday is Mr. Glass.
Yeah, he's right.
Saw that. Not very nice. Good call, Brian. All right. So Nick, tell me why it is that you won't take DK Metcalf at all.
I'm just not sold. If you look at his stat line, he was figured out in the second half. Arizona had him figured out. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think it was 6 of the last 7 games or some wild number like that. He was held under 100 yards. He broke out in a couple games, which really boosted his fantasy numbers. But they just seem to figure him out. I don't know. I'd rather have Tyler Lockett. I would pass on Metcalf. Yeah. They both finished with the same exact. If you look at a full point PPR, They both finished the exact same point totals. I mean, granted, DK Metcalf is now another year into the league, but the same exact point total. I mean, I'd rather have Lockett. If it's a 10, 15-point difference for the ADP difference, I'm still taking Lockett.
So you ready for this? Last year, DK Metcalf was wide receiver number 6, 83 catches, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett was wide receiver number 8, 100 catches, 1,000 yards, also 10 touchdowns.
And what's the ADP right now?
Big difference.
Huge difference. 30 spot difference in ADP, 22 versus 54.
Mind-boggling.
There's one difference, though.
Consistency?
Lockett had 2 monster games last year that were like DFS gold. But that's it, man. If he could get a little bit more consistent this year, he'll pay that off in spades. No issue. Right. I can't disagree with that. Look at that. I love my best bet so much I left it up there all day long. All right. Just a couple more teams left. We already talked about Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk is being drafted actually 2 rounds ahead of Samuel. And there's really nothing else there. Kittle's basically their number 1 option.
Yep.
What are we doing? Are you any interest in Ayuk, or that's a hard pass? I think it's too early for me.
I think it's too early. I like him, but I think it's too early. I just can't do it.
He's being all right. So real easy one here: Ayuk or Tyler Lockett.
Lockett.
Yeah, lock it up, right?
Lock it up.
Same ADP, so that's an easy one for us. All right, Tampa Bay is a really hard one to figure out. You got Evans and Godwin both being drafted in the 40s, but Antonio Brown might actually be a league winner this year.
Yep.
Like, Andy, don't you think it's possible that Antonio Brown's the wide receiver 1 this year? Don't you think that that's just something that could possibly happen?
I just think that him and Brady are going to click, and I think that, I don't know, Godwin had a bunch of drops last year. I think that Brown is, had a year back, and I think he's going to be comfortable, and he's listening to whatever Brady says, and he's bought into the system, and I think he's going to have a big year. I'd rather take him.
I think there's too many mouths to feed for him to be like a wide receiver 1 there, but I think that he's going to destroy his ADP.
What's his ADP?
Outside the top 100.
Yeah, round 9. You're talking double digits almost.
Yeah, he's being drafted as a wide receiver 4 in some situations.
Yeah, he's going to crush that.
Right. The only thing, and I hate saying it the way I'm about to say it, forgive me if I don't mean to offend anybody, but I have Trevor Bauer scare with this because Bauer, explosive personality, and I just overlooked it, and I got screwed by it hard this year. Antonio Brown is just not a good dude. He's got a lot of issues. Like, I just feel like it's going to happen again, and I'm still doing it. Antonio Brown, let's do it. All right. So last but not least is the Washington football team. Terry McLaurin is a no-brainer for us. He's getting moved up hard, though. He's pretty much at the back of the 3rd round now. I kind of like him on the 3-4 turn like that, so I still might have a couple of shares in redraft of him. Curtis Samuel is being drafted 98th overall. What do you think about that?
I like Terry. I mean, I had him last year in Scott Fishbowl, and he crushed it for me. Fitz is going to freaking air it out. Curtis Samuel just came back from the COVID list, so he's being eased into the offense. He's explosive. He's 24 years old in a 2nd contract already. And they drafted Dynamo Brown, who could be a playmaker for them as a rookie. But right now, I love Terry, but just getting him in the draft, he's going high, really too high.
I heard a beat writer say that Samuel is not even close to making the field.
Yeah, that's a concern right now. Mm-hmm. We're halfway through August, and he's not making the field. I think Brown's going to actually have a big impact on this offense if that is the case, because we know Fitz airs it out and just does not care.
And there's a natural fit there if they're missing Samuel, because Adam Humphries is a very good and established slot receiver, and that gives De'Ami Brown the chance to be on the outside opposite of McLaurin. That is a buy right there, man. De'Ami Brown is a buy I gotta get me some Dyami Brown right now. I watched this kid at North Carolina, man. Like he's a circus player, man. Like he just makes everything incredible. Like if he gets the opportunity, that's nice. So I like to hear that from you. Even though I have a Curtis Samuel share in a dynasty league, I like to hear that from you, Andy, that he may be missing some time and give Dyami Brown that opportunity.
I think Humphrey, he's a good value too. I think, he's having a very, very good connection. Very good connection with Fitzpatrick too. So I think that he's, free, as you said.
Free
is for me.
All right. Nick, you got anything else you want to add football wise before we get to Andy's throwback player of the week that we could never guess?
Yeah, we're gonna get now into the season of the casual fantasy football player. They are now starting to tune into fantasy sports. Starting next week, give or take, is really when all the home drafts really start to hit. You'll probably see some this weekend. I know best ball ADPs are getting absolutely destroyed right now because they are just catapulting guys. Guys are dropping left and right. Stick to your guns, stick to your strategy, and go with it. I mean, don't worry about draft boards getting destroyed. Don't worry about Darren Waller being picked number 2 overall. Oh my God, what do I do now? So crazy stuff's gonna happen. Just trust your instincts and go with it.
Right. No matter what happens in your draft, you know the depth at the position and they don't.
Yep.
So just trust it.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. All right. Good points. Good points, man. All right, Andy, let's do it, man. We're going to guess it this week.
I think you guys will get this one. It's pretty easy. I didn't have a lot of time to do it, but I remember having him on one of my fantasy teams back in the day, and it was just a monster. So 1999, first season as a starter. Guy wins the MVP. 41 touchdowns, 4,300 yards passing. Who is he?
It's not Peyton Manning.
Nope.
Donovan McNabb.
Nope.
It was the year after Peyton Manning.
After
Dante Culpepper.
Manning was 98.
He had amazing.
Rookie.
Yeah, it was his first year. He had 11 passes the year before. All right, came out of nowhere. They always show his wife on. They always show his wife on TV.
Matt Hasselbeck
when he was in the Super Bowl.
Matt Hasselbeck. I don't know.
Kurt Warner.
Yes,
Kurt Warner.
There you go.
Yeah. So what you want?
The greatest show on turf.
Yeah, that was not good, man. That took us like 5 minutes to do that. Everybody that was watching tuned out. So, all right. You guys got anything intelligent to say before we head out of here? You said a few smart things today. All of us did.
Well, it's all about the glasses. That's why.
Yeah.
I got one thing. With all the drafts starting, just remember, trust the depth and avoid the wide receivers early.
Yeah, just trust your strategy. Go with what you know, and you're going to be, like me personally, you're going to take running back. You're going to be all set. People are going to be scrambling over Zach Moss as their running back 1 or 2 mid-rounds, and you are sitting there cherry picking the stud, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupps, Brandon Ayukes, and you're cherry picking them as they're taking, I don't know, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, and panicking full blown, and immediately starting trade offers.
Yeah, I like it. Good stuff. All right, guys. I still can't figure this pointing thing out.
Put some glasses on.
I can see it's just pointing left or right because I got to point right to go to you, but you're on my left. So that guy over there is Nick Mimi. This is Trader Andy at AMAC.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's completely wrong.
My neck was hurting actually. That's what it was. I was trying to work out a kink. I'm at JTrella20. This is the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. Remember, guys, we have our knockout pool we're working on. DM me if you want a piece of that and you want to get in. Chance to win a couple $1,000s. I do not take a rake in it. I just take 2 free entries, and that's all. All right. Trevor, thanks for all you do for us. Take us on out of here. Guys, thanks for a great show, man. Peace.
See ya.
Adios.